And warm into the upper 70s, low 50s on the way again for your Tuesday night, mid and upper 70s for Wednesday. We'll bring back an isolated shower chance again by Thursday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Welcome to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Welcome, welcome. It must be Tuesday. How are you, Margi?
I am well.
Well, welcome to the month of May.
I know.
Lots happening in May, right?
I was born in May.
You were?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to get to celebrate your birthday.
Absolutely.
How fabulous. Well, I was just going to tell you that May is National Mental Health Awareness Month. So just checking in on your mental health. How are you doing?
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I went to a meeting last week, and it was about mental health and everything. And one of the things they gave away was tiny Jesuses.
Oh, and I gave you one.
Yes. So I seem to be collecting tiny Jesuses. So I don't know if people are trying to tell me something or what, but I'm just going to put him here for now so that he can watch over our meeting. So what's going on in your world?
Well, Saturday, Tim Boone, president of Little Smiles, and I went to Levine Children's Hospital.
Okay.
On top of the garage, and we had hundreds of kids and their parents come.
Wow.
And Tim brought 2 bubble guns. We were busy the whole time.
I bet you were.
Those kids love, shooting bubbles out of these guns.
No matter your age,
Yeah.
everybody loves bubbles.
I think Tim liked it more than the kids,
I bet
actually.
he did, right? So were these patients or were they just
that are
how
well enough to be
fabulous.
out enjoying a day.
Aw.
And there were, I don't know how many other nonprofits and organizations around doing special things with the kids.
All
And-
on the rooftop?
Yeah,
That's fabulous. I think Reese has some pictures.
he
he's gonna
did. I
put
sent
up.
him a picture of, I was with Sir Purr,
You were.
and there's Tim behind the booth while I was out just gallivanting around.
You were with Sir Purr.
I wanted a big hug so I could get warm because it was a very damp, cold day.
Yeah, Saturday was weird.
But we handed out chalk, and the kids had more fun doing chalk in front of the table, and
Beautiful.
all sorts of little can of bubbles and some goldfish and a couple other little things.
I love that they were outside and
Yeah.
in fellowship with other people. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
It was.
We went to a Kentucky Derby party
Did you?
at Supperland. Have you been to Supperland?
No, I haven't.
Supperland is uptown, and it is an old church that's been converted, and they serve everything family style. It was really lovely, and it takes months to get a reservation there. So we slid in because of the Kentucky Derby party that was canceled. We were able to go in and have dinner in the restaurant. It was really lovely. So if you haven't been, go check it out.
Well, I took my daughter to Coco Couture's,
Mhm.
and they were handing out little tiny derby hats.
Oh, cute. Very cute. Didn't even occur to me that it was Derby Day coming up until the people that we went with said, "You have your fascinator, right?" I'm like, how about a hat? Just like a church lady hat.
Yeah.
So that was super fun. Something different. But it was cold and pouring rain. And then I
Yes.
think we got a tornado warning in the middle of the night, somewhere around 1:30. So it was kind of
I
crazy.
slept right through it.
Yeah, that a girl. That's a way to do it, right? If it's going to come and pick you up and blow you away, it might as well. So what else? Anything new and exciting?
No, we're booked
Good.
through May,
Fabulous.
and
I know it's a big week. We have George Searle with the Peninsula Community Foundation
yes.
actively promoting the volunteer fair that's going to be at 1 o'clock on Thursday.
1 to 5.
Yeah, 1 to 5 at the Bethel Church, Bethel Presbyterian Church. And I think they're expecting a very large turnout.
I think so too. So
Mhm.
if anybody out there is listening, is interested in looking for volunteer work, it's a great place to go.
Or if you just want to learn more about the fabulous non-for-profits in our community, there are, I think the last I heard, 20 signed up, but I think George said there's
Oh, there's-
29.
Yeah.
So that's an opportunity to almost interview through some of these
Yes.
fabulous non-for-profits. I know we have one of those partners here today as our guest, which I'm excited about. But I think what a great way if you're looking to get involved.
I think it is too.
We always talk about that, like how do you give back to your community? And so what a great place all in one day to visit 30 different
Yeah.
non-for-profits.
Well, I love the community of Lake Norman because
Mhm.
people do come together.
We do. We do. And as
And-
nonprofits, we support each other too.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see with funding cuts and things, even more camaraderie and more digging deep and,
Yeah.
and being able to help each other out, which is fabulous.
It is.
I know we get some donations from Whole Foods. They're very generous with us. And so what we can't use, we give to the Hearts and Hands Food Pantry.
And you give
So-
them some to Little Smiles.
And we give some to Little Smiles. We gave some to Ronald McDonald House. So we love as a non-for-profit to give things away
Yeah,
that we've been blessed with.
that's right.
We got
Well,
30.
Vicki from Ronald McDonald House came and took over 150 toys
Yep.
on Wednesday.
She took a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
from us too. I have Girl Scout cookies if you need them too. So Girl Scouts are very generous, but we're getting closer and closer every day to opening up Journey and Courage. So
Oh, I
just
can't wait.
keep us in your thoughts and prayers that everything moves forward and that we get the things about the road settled and we move our first families in.
And I know my granddaughter's working on those pictures still. She asked me what size we wanted.
Whatever
Right.
size she wants to do.
That's what I said, as big as you
How's
can
that?
make it.
I'm a very difficult person to work with. Whatever she would like to do
That's
would
what
be
I
fabulous.
said to her. 'Cause she said, I can't do it too big. I said, well, then do it the size you can do.
Whatever works for her. We're
Yeah.
fabulous with that. Today's guests have something really special to share about what they're doing in our community. And I hope our listeners are paying attention because I'd really love to see Jaime's program take off and work. And so I can't imagine why a business or a corporation wouldn't want to partner to really do something incredibly fantastic in our community.
And it was 16 years ago that Make an Impact
16 years ago?
gave Little Smiles a check for $11,000 to get
Wow.
us started.
Well, they're shaking things up.
Yeah, I
And
know.
they are doing places, and I think it's due to our guest today, who's new and fabulous with them. And I think we're going to hear about all
I
the
can't
wonderful
wait
things they're
to
doing.
hear what they're doing.
Yeah, I think that when you think about that word, make an impact, those are some
They do.
big words.
They do,
right?
yeah.
And so, what does it mean to make an impact? I think we're going to find that out today. But I love that title, make an impact.
Yeah.
Because if we can just do that, even just one person a day, imagine we always
Well,
talk
I
about
remember
this.
meeting Dale Gilmore, and he just said, tell me more. Tell me
Mhm.
more.
He's a gentle, compassionate
He is.
individual.
And all of a sudden he said, I want to help you.
So 16 years?
Yeah,
I wonder how long they've been around. We'll have to ask that question
that's
today.
right. Yeah.
Because that's just, I feel like it's just been overnight that they came on scene. So,
No, they've been around for a while.
well, so they are founding fathers of Little Smiles.
Yes.
That's pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
Well, shortly we're going to go to break. When we come back, Margie, you're going to be introducing our guest.
Yes.
And if you ever feel the need while you're listening to give it a call, you can always call 844-STUDIO-4. We'd be more than happy to take your call.
Yes.
And we would love to talk to you and hopefully get your questions answered here today on Community Centered.
Community Centered, presented by Macintosh Law, a staple in our community since 1997. We'll return on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a partly cloudy sky overnight. Temperatures will cool off into the low 50s around Lake Norman overnight. Nice cool start to your Tuesday morning and a warm afternoon. Dry, too. We'll see plenty of sunshine. A couple of clouds mixed in and warm into the upper 70s. Low 50s on the way again for your Tuesday night, mid and upper 70s for Wednesday. We'll bring back an isolated shower chance again by Thursday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Ready to roll, race fans? Swing by Harrison's in Mooresville and register in person for your chance to choose your race. 3 winners. First place picks first. Will it be the Coca-Cola 600 with pre-race passes, the Bet MGM 300, or the North Carolina Education Lottery 200? Register now through May 15th at Harrison's, the Southeast leader in Carhartt, Ariat, and Western wear. Winners announced live on the Home Ad Show. Lake Norman Woman is proud to sponsor the Mother's Day Commons Market at Birkdale Village with Shop Local QC. Join us Sunday, May 11th from 11 to 4 at the Plaza for live music. Free photos with Mom from 12 to 1 and over 30 amazing local vendors. Don't miss it. Pulp Juice and Smoothie Bar in Cornelius is open for business. Drop into 9623 Bailey Road in Cornelius for a healthy smoothie today. The 500 Club in Statesville presents live music on Saturday night with a performance by My Better Half. After the concert on Saturday, come back to the club on Sunday to celebrate with a Mother's Day brunch. Golfing, entertainment, and honoring Mom are all at the 500 Club in Statesville this weekend. Peninsula Community Foundation is holding a volunteer fair on Thursday, May 8th. Join us at Bethel Presbyterian Church in Cornelius from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. as over 20 nonprofits offer volunteer opportunities for all ages. Learn about volunteering in your community at the Volunteer Fair Thursday, May 8th at Bethel Presbyterian Church in Cornelius. From everyone here at WSIC Radio, we wish you a happy Mother's Day this Sunday. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the Macintosh Law Firm, visit MacintoshlawFirm.com.
Macintosh Law is a proud sponsor of Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back, and local does start here. I am thrilled to have Clarissa Young, Development Associate, make an impact. Very dear to my heart, as you know. What do you do? What part do you play? I am watching Dale grow and grow and grow this, and I can't wait to hear what you're into.
Yeah, who is Make an Impact?
Make an Impact Foundation, and I'm just going to start here. I just started with the foundation in January, and it's been awesome since I started.
Well, he said you're setting the world on fire.
Well, I hope so. Well, I hope so, but I've enjoyed it. Make an Impact Foundation is an organization that promotes education and well-being of all children. They especially work with kids that are at risk or kids that are in need, providing opportunities for them throughout life. Some of the tier programs of the foundation is what we call MAVE Kids Play, MAVE Kids Learn, MAVE Kids Work, and then we have the My Corporate component of the project itself, the program. So with My Corporate part, which was the first, I would say the first component of the foundation when it started, and it pretty much gets businesses together to promote have a social impact in their lives and what they feel comfortable and what their interests are, and get them to volunteer and do different projects in the community. MAVE Kids Learn is a project, our main project we have coming up is called our Drones to Jet program. It's an aviation program that's held at the Statesville Airport this summer. It's a week-long project for students to get involved. And it's fascinating. It's wonderful because the kids get to go through the different components of the airport and the aviation and learn about what jobs they're there and the different components that make it all work. Maeve
Oh, you're really going in a deeper way.
Deeper way, deeper way. As you said, 16 years ago, the
Yeah.
foundation donated funds to Little Smiles, and it's grown a lot since then.
And they've helped a couple hospitals with their playgrounds too.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So the Maeve Kids Play component of the foundation, what we do is we not only just have kids and they have fun and play, it's that we build playgrounds in play desolate areas across the country.
Yes.
Here in North Carolina, we have 3. A couple weeks ago, we had the grand opening for the playground, I guess a musical play area at the Kane Center.
Oh, that's fabulous.
It is. It was nice because we had the kids out there and they got to play some of the instruments, and it's great addition to the community and the town of Cornelius.
Yeah. And Reese, you can show that one picture of one of the playgrounds I sent you. But that is a fabulous addition.
It is. And our hopes and goal is to have a phase 2 component of that project. And I think one of the renderings is have slides come down that big hill outside of the play area. I don't know if it's on that's one of our other playgrounds. But so that's one of the playgrounds that we have here in the local area. Also at Stumpy Creek Park in Mooresville, there's we're finalizing and trying to finish up it's called a story walk, where kids actually go on a different walk across a different path, and they can read different parts and components of a book along the way, along the route. So excited about that. And then we have another playground that we did with Caterpillar Ministries over.
So are you just here in the Carolina area?
No, the foundation's corporate site is here in Davidson.
Right.
But we do playgrounds across the country. We've had over 29 playgrounds that we've done across the country. So excited about that. Working on a couple in different areas across the country. Now working on one in Boston, Mobile, Alabama, Arizona. So we're spread pretty wide. But the goal is probably to get the community involved in a buy-in and volunteering and doing things in their community, raising funds in their local community so that they can provide play areas and fun for students in their area. So that's one of the projects that I am involved in. I think that's what I was hired to do. But of course, we know in the nonprofit sector, you're wherever you get in, where you fit in. And our foundation, we have only 3 people hired. Myself, Deborah McGee.
Yes.
And then we have Jaime Lane, who just joined our team this past year as well. So,
and Jaime will be on.
Yeah. Yes. Another program that Jaime will talk about too is our Maeve Kids Work program too. So that's another tier. I talked about Maeve Kids Play, Maeve Kids Learn, Maeve Kids Work, and then of course the My Corporate Impact, where local businesses figure out their passion and get their employees involved in volunteering. So we're excited about that.
You really are making a big impact.
Oh my
And not
gosh.
just in playgrounds and all
Yeah.
that. It's just you're kind of really all over, making really deep impact.
Right. The goal for the foundation is to make change and provide opportunities for kids. And the bottom line is, no matter where you come from, the struggles that you endure throughout life, if your parents don't have money, if you live in a low-income area, you can dream, and you can dream and have opportunities to change the path of your life. And that's what our foundation does in many capacities. If it's just a playground or promoting education, volunteer opportunities, and like I said earlier, playgrounds. As you
I
stated,
think Dale came from Michigan, and I remember he was doing a playground, and I grew up in Michigan.
Right.
So I was kind of excited about that.
Right. I think the first playground that we did was in Flint, Michigan.
That's right.
Right, because of the water crisis. I think pretty much had that going with the catalyst behind doing a playground in that area. So but we're doing things. We're growing. We're loving what we're doing. Just some little information about me. I've had over 30 years in nonprofits. My passion is to work for kids and provide opportunities and work for the betterment of them. So that's why I'm moving and shaking, and I love Making an Impact Foundation.
That's a good fit.
Yeah.
That's a really good fit.
I'm sure they love you too.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
I've been,
I know we've had some conversations at Hope House with you
Right.
about doing a playground for the children there. We have such a beautiful 4-acre property.
I know.
And so we're trying to carve up. And when I met online with the gentlemen that were helping us design something, I was like, I had no idea. The sky's the limit for, playgrounds are not just swing sets and slides anymore.
Right.
They are, you can do one for special needs. You can do one for kids
Yeah.
that can't regulate. You can do a story walk. I mean,
I think that story walk is
isn't
fabulous.
it incredible?
Yeah.
You get to really
Yeah.
dream. And I think part of the sell for me of working with them was involving the kids that are
Yes.
there to be
Yeah.
able to design what they want. Because I'm thinking, an old lady like me, a swing and a slide, but no, they want climbing things and, doing things and
Interactive.
Yeah.
interactive things that really move and make a difference to them. And I think about that in the kids at Hope House of the social impact that would have for them to be able to have a place
That's
to just,
right.
rather than just go outside and just run wild,
Right.
Right.
to have an intentional play for them would be amazing.
Right. And part of the playground process is what we call Dream Day. And hopefully we'll have a Dream Day at Hope House soon,
Yes.
where we get the kids involved in the process of dreaming about what their ideal playground is. Right. It gets kids
Just brings
exploring
them
and
together.
dreaming and
Yeah.
brings them together and just it's just fun.
Yeah.
And excitement. And then the kids get to, be part of the change and part of, I would say making history on, building something in their community that they can enjoy.
And they're creators, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they become the designer, or they become, maybe they want to do design, or maybe they want to do architecture or something like that, but that inspires
Well, I
them,
love the one at the Kane Center
Mhm.
because that's just,
Mhm.
now it's touching all levels at
Yes.
any age.
Right.
And
Yes.
that's so important.
And I think you'll see adults playing there too because they love the it as well. So that's kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to our partnership and what we can make hope happen together. I think the sky's the limit when it comes to designing what we could for our kids.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, do you have any upcoming fundraisers or anything?
We don't have any upcoming fundraisers, but I would say that our Maeve KidsWork program, and Jaime will talk about that. That's something that we have up and coming that we're looking to grow and get a lot of kids involved. And I would say kids, I always say kids, people think 5 to 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
But a lot of, projects and things that you are for that age. But with the Maeve Kids Work program, it's geared towards high school students and teens, getting them more involved in the foundation and providing activities and opportunities for them as well. So
I think that's
What's the best way to get a hold of you or make an impact?
Oh, easy. You can go to our website, which is makeanimpactnow.org, or you can email me at cyoung@makeanimpactnow.org, or can give us a call at the office. So,
And what's that number?
Yeah.
oh,
Don't ask her that.
don't ask me that. I'm like,
You never
It's
call
on your heart.
yourself,
I
right?
never call
That's
myself.
That's
It's
not
not
on
on there.
it. No, it's not on that one.
But if
Well,
you
we
do-
can get that
We'll
for you
get
here at the
that.
Right.
station.
Thanks.
We'll
Yeah.
get that for you for sure. I think what I appreciated, again, when we had our conversation, Clarissa, was the inclusivity that you were just thinking about the children that have come to Hope House and that it's not exactly special needs, but it is special needs because these kids have seen so much. So trauma-informed care is almost what it seemed like to me, that you were very receptive to that and included older children. Because again, people think about kids
Right.
as littles, but we get a lot of teenagers and that middle school age. So the fact that you were willing to create something for them as well was really amazing.
Right. And when you think about trauma and some of the things that kids endure, you think that, it's the end of the road for them. But if you think, I work for this organization, and one things that we used to say is our trauma doesn't define who you are.
Absolutely.
Those who suffer trauma can become leaders of
Absolutely.
tomorrow.
And usually do.
And
Use
they
that
usually
to
do.
fuel yourself.
Right.
When we
right,
come back
definitely.
from break, we're going to be introduced to Jaime Lane. We'll see you in just a minute.
There's still good in our community. It's community centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC, presented by Macintosh Law.
Well, a partly cloudy sky overnight. Temperatures will cool off into the low 50s around Lake Norman overnight. Nice cool start to your Tuesday morning and a warm afternoon. Dry, too. We'll see plenty of sunshine. A couple of clouds mixed in and warm into the upper 70s. Low 50s on the way again for your Tuesday night. Mid and upper 70s for Wednesday. We'll bring back an isolated shower chance again by Thursday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Welcome home to the feeling of Horn Heating and Air Conditioning is family owned and operated and understands the meaning of community. We treat you like family because you are family. Visit hornhvac.com.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Is your yard ready for a refresh? Drum Landscape Supply has over 10 types of mulch, beautiful boulders, decorative gravel, and a unique plant nursery bursting with shrubs, trees, and perennials. Call today for up to 70% off pavers and stone. Visit drumlandscapesupply.com today.
Opening doors to your future. Literally. Buying, selling, or building your portfolio? Put the team at Centralina Realty to work for you. We're in the center of North Carolina and at the center of your journey. CentralinaRealty.com.
Harrison's is the home of Work Western, and wow! For nearly 30 years, our family has been boots on the ground when it comes to work. We have the largest selection of in-stock boots in the Carolinas and the best workwear brands like Harriet, Carhartt, and Wrangler. Find us on Norman Station Boulevard in Mooresville.
Take your life by the reins and let the horses at Willow Equine heal and empower you. Located in Mooresville, our services help with trauma, anxiety, depression, and addiction. Love life again. Visit willowequine.com today.
Hey folks, you know Randy Marion is the king of price when it comes to buying a new vehicle or a premium vehicle, but how about king of price when it comes to the service department? Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville, Randy Marion Ford Lincoln in Statesville has you covered on tires, brakes, batteries, wipers, you name it. Any service you need on your vehicle, regardless of the make or model, come see Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville Service Department or Randy Marion Ford Lincoln Service Department today.
Nothing but the best talk.
The area's best talk.
WSIC.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Instacart wants to deliver more than just groceries. It's launching a new app, Fizz, for group orders of drinks and party snacks. It allows multiple users to contribute to one order, pay for their own items, and have them delivered together for a $5 flat fee. Fizz will also have a rewards program for brands to provide in-app discounts to shoppers. While we're talking deliveries, DoorDash has reached an agreement to buy UK-based food delivery platform Deliveroo for close to $4 billion. The purchase, if approved, will expand DoorDash's reach to more than 40 countries. And DoorDash is also buying hospitality tech company 7 Rooms for $1.2 billion. It gives DoorDash a reservation platform similar to OpenTable or Resy. Markets are lower this afternoon. They're down between 0.5 and 0.7%. I'm Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
Number one for talk in Lake Norman, Statesville.
105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Community Centered, proudly presented by Macintosh Law, continues now on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back. We have a phone number now, which is 704-251-8013, and that's for Make an Impact, 704-251-8013. And you're going to want to find out more, and I cannot wait to hear what Jaime has to share with us. And Jaime Lane is KidsWork Manager. Tell us more about that.
How do you get your kids to work, Jaime?
Oh, I kicked their butts out the door at 15 years old. You're getting a job.
Where did the idea come from to do this?
So, little back history. I formerly worked with Lake Norman Economic Development, and my team, we developed this program in 2023 when Mecklenburg County came to us and said, we think you're the right fit to run this program. You're getting $125,000. The kids are paid $15 an hour. It's free for our companies. They get allowance for travel, uniforms. There are lunch and learns that we host weekly on financial literacy and coaching, and just a multitude of things. Those were paid lunch hours, and we brought lunch in, so all that was covered. Plus, payroll, workers' comp, insurance, taxes was all through us. So the companies don't onboard anyone. So, and that was the pilot. So then the next year, we kept the same formula, rearranged the budget a little bit, and we're given $185,000 to be able to host more students. Because the first grant, I think, was for 21 students. This was for 30 students, but we still held it low because we were still building the program. And so we had 22 students this past summer. Many people know that LNED, Lake Norman Economic Development, has closed their doors permanently. And I was given the opportunity to find a partner for this internship to carry on with the county. And Dale happened to reach me at the right time because county. To me twice, and I didn't want to do her job. And I don't want to fundraise. But at the same time, he came back to me at the Chamber Christmas party. He said, what if we do the internship? And I'm like, sold. That was my goal above anything else, was to keep this program going. And so right at first, we don't have a grant. We don't have, I'm bringing all the knowledge and information and procedures, but we don't have funds until we start onboarding companies. Well, even if it had kept at LNED, we would have had buy-in from the companies to help the program grow and just be invested in partnerships with this internship program. So right now, without the internship program, it is a little high. Hopes is we get the grant and we're able to offer more positions to more companies. Still the same thing where you're not onboarding an employee, that all the costs are through us, and it's a sponsorship, so it's a tax write-off for the companies, since we're a nonprofit. This company, the grant started at first in manufacturing and skilled trades, so advanced manufacturing, skilled trades. But if you're not 18, you can't work on a manufacturer's floor.
That's right.
But you can work in HR, logistics, sales, R&D, IT. You can work in all these other fields. And all these fields require a 2-year degree, training, certification, or straight into the workforce. So these are all jobs attainable at that level.
Wow. When you say kids, define kids. What ages?
So it started as rising sophomores. Now it is rising juniors and rising seniors, and those that will just graduate.
Yeah.
16 to 18. They also have to meet the benchmark. So we have to have their grades. We don't look at the grades as a criteria at all because a lot of these students aren't good students. We look at their attendance. We look at how many days they've missed, and is there a good valid reason why you've missed 2 weeks, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we also ask them for recommendation letters. So between all of that and them filling out a survey, our business is filling out a survey, we marry it and try to find the best fit for each of them.
And then is there an interview process?
Yes.
Okay.
We're actually getting ready to start that next week. So we are doing like 3 kids in one room because we did it before as one person with, 3 executives, a mayor, that kind of thing. It's too intimidating.
Oh, sure. Oh,
yeah.
And honestly, these are kids and they're young. And so I suggested to them, I said, let's just do it as bringing 3 kids in. We knock out 3 interviews, but a lot of times they feed on each other, right? Like, oh, you play sports? Oh, I do too. What team are you on? Like, it gets them talking, and you really see their personalities come out. So after we place the students, we'll have the companies, an onboarding day for the companies and the students, where the companies come out, meet their intern. If they need a uniform, they give them their uniform, teach them how to use the payroll, and to clock their hours, and just be familiar with that instead of being thrown and having questions all throughout the summer on what do I do, or
Sure.
what, I couldn't clock out. I'm not there, so I can't approve your hours. It's the employer has to do that. So
Yes.
really just having that all up in front and ready to go for the employers, it makes it easy. Their first day, they'd have someone they know to look for and to, just guide them through this instead of just walking in a door and who do I talk to, right? And we try to give the company backgrounds, what they do, and the positions that they hold at the business. So I really wanted them in the very first to be able to rotate through all these positions. Like if you go to HR, next week you go to marketing, and next week you go somewhere else. And then the last 2 weeks of the program, what did you like the best? And maybe we focus on that for the last 2 weeks. The students are of all demographics. We are selective in one aspect is most of the kids that are for these jobs are not intending to go to a 4-year degree college.
Okay.
And that's where we want to give those opportunities to those that aren't doing that. And not to say that we won't hire, we have hired them going to a 4-year degree, but we also look at the need base, right? And the skill base and what works. Because we want to give the companies the best of the best, and know that they're going to show up to work and do what they're supposed to do. And that part of that is attendance, like.
How many students do you have in the program currently?
Well, we don't have it in the program currently. We have 126 applications completed.
Gotcha.
And recommendations.
So you haven't moved forward yet until you've secured the funds?
Yes. Well, we're moving. No, we're moving regardless.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're being selective on what we're doing.
Gotcha.
To proceed that.
Gotcha. And so if you needed corporations or businesses to apply or to reach out to you, who are you specifically looking for? What kind of business?
The jobs, like I said, are, if you're not on the floor, you're doing other things. I mean, you could be a dental hygienist, 2-year degree, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can be HR, like at Metrolina Greenhouses, but you're bilingual. So now, the kids are doing real jobs. So actually one that was at Metrolina Greenhouses, that was bilingual, was translating the migrant population, everything that came through HR. So whether it was filling out documents, whether it was an issue, she was facilitating all of that and handling it. Wow. So these are 16, 17, 18-year-olds, right?
That's
and
great.
they know more, and they do know more. They do know more when it comes to AI and computers and all that they're bringing that fresh light. But at the same time, they're also doing employee engagement. Because every one of the companies' feedback is this helped our employees so much, especially the ones that are now in a leadership position that have never done that before. Now they feel, their goal is to have fun with them, but, they're their manager.
Everybody wins. The corporation wins, the business wins, the students win.
It's not advanced manufacturing skilled trades anymore. So now it's small business, it's, government, it's education, all industries, but every business, I don't care who you are, you have a position that you just don't know it's there. So I've actually created job descriptions for 40 different jobs. For a teenager that a company can look at and be like, oh, that one fits. Now let me marry it to what I need or keep it the same or whatever, just to get the idea.
Perfect.
Out.
Let's talk more about that when we come back.
There's more Community Centered, presented by Macintosh Law and hosted by Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle, on the way from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a partly cloudy sky overnight. Temperatures will cool off into the low 50s around Lake Norman overnight. Nice cool start to your Tuesday morning and a warm afternoon. Dry, too. We'll see plenty of sunshine. A couple of clouds mixed in and warm into the upper 70s. Low 50s on the way again for your Tuesday night. Mid and upper 70s for Wednesday. We'll bring back an isolated shower chance again by Thursday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Ready to roll, race fans? Swing by Harrison's in Mooresville and register in person for your chance to choose your race. 3 winners. First place picks first. Will it be the Coca-Cola 600 with pre-race passes, the Bet MGM 300, or the North Carolina Education Lottery 200? Register now through May 15th at Harrison's, the Southeast leader in Carhartt, Ariat, and Western wear. Winners announced live on the Home Ad Show. Lake Norman Woman is proud to sponsor the Mother's Day Commons Market at Birkdale Village with Shop Local QC. Join us Sunday, May 11th from 11 to 4 at the Plaza for live music. For live music. Free photos with Mom from 12 to 1 and over 30 amazing local vendors. Don't miss it. Pulp Juice and Smoothie Bar in Cornelius is open for business. Drop into 9623 Bailey Road in Cornelius for a healthy smoothie today. The 500 Club in Statesville presents live music on Saturday night with a performance by My Better Half. After the concert on Saturday, come back to the club on Sunday to celebrate with a Mother's Day brunch. Golfing, entertainment, and honoring Mom are all at the 500 Club in Statesville this weekend. Peninsula Community Foundation is holding a volunteer fair on Thursday, May 8th. Join us at Bethel Presbyterian Church in Cornelius from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. as over 20 nonprofits offer volunteer opportunities for all ages. Learn about volunteering in your community at the Volunteer Fair Thursday, May 8th at Bethel Presbyterian Church in Cornelius. From everyone here at WSIC Radio, we wish you a happy Mother's Day this Sunday. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
A good soul isn't hard to find, especially if you're listening to WSIC on Tuesdays at 4.
Hello, and welcome to The Good Soul.
The Good Soul, hosted by Patty Alvarez, features real-world conversations that leave you feeling happy and rejuvenated. Call now to speak with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's community-centered on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back. You're listening to Community Centered, and we are visiting with Jaime Lane and Clarissa Young of the Make an Impact Foundation. Wow, Jaime, what an energetic, full of life person you are to take on these students and this mission of making an impact in their life and making an impact in our community. Tell me, what do you need?
Everything. No, I'm such a community driver, community person. Like, I love networking people in different ways that benefit all. And this is a great example because you're building a workforce. If you look at the stats, I think 72% of all the high school students graduating are not going to a college, 4-year degree college. Wow. And it's funny because, back in the 30s and 40s, it was all about high school manufacturing trades. And we're now, those people are now going away and retiring, and we're revitalizing the 40s of manufacturing and trade because they're going to be bringing business back here. And we're not ready. And so if we can help, your small HVAC company bring a workforce on and train them from the little ground up, learn all about your business, and they find a role that they really like, you have a lifelong employee.
That's right.
And if you treat them right, when your engagement's right with this employee, it's a win-win because that's the point, is to grow the workforce and get these positions ready and trained for, but also, to hire your workforce and to give the career pathways that you don't necessarily know about. And I give a great example. It's the commercial real estate agent. If you have a commercial real estate agent that takes on just one intern, would love more, but just one intern, they're vetting contracts, they're negotiating, they're looking at site selection reports, they're looking at investors and anything really.
They're fast on the computer.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Faster
But then
than
you
I am.
take that same kid out to a site, and it's a shell of a building with a gravel floor. And now you're needing construction developers, engineers, designers, HVAC, town. They work with the towns. They work with site selection and all these other attorneys. I mean, you could name it, right? But they're in front of all that. And so they wanted to be the real estate person, which does only take certification.
Yeah.
And now they decided they want to be a site selector. Well, the thing about being a site selector, you don't learn about that in college until you're in economics or construction or something like that, and engineering, until your second semester of college, because you're doing all the other stuff first. And then, you don't even know what really that is. You haven't been in the field. You haven't learned it, right? And either you like to be outside or you don't, right? Because you're outside a lot. But you're also meeting with these incredible people. And so you've got that network that the kids have too, but they might come back and say, I want to be a site selector. And you can do that at CPCC in 2 years. So you've not wasted all this money and time, because the first 2 years are really you're just, I'll say crap years, because you're trying to get all the crap.
Can we say that on the radio?
Yeah. But you're trying to get all that done and out of the way. That's not your core.
Right.
And so we're eliminating that. And then if you're bilingual, well, you're going to have a very lucrative career.
That's right.
And so it's getting that through it, and also making.
And I think maybe we'll raise a happier generation of people.
I was just thinking about that, Margie. The amount of people that are miserable in their career because they feel like
that
they're
was
stuck.
me. Like I was an interior designer, and I didn't love it. Like I was me doing great things, but at the same time, I couldn't value the things they valued. And it just brought a lot into perspective, where I just didn't like it. I love the people, but I just didn't like what it was doing. And when I found this, actually when I went to work for Lake Norman Economic Development, that was my dream job. I never knew it existed. I didn't even know it existed here, right? Like I had no concept.
Well, you did some great stuff with them, including a non-for-profit fair that was really awesome.
Yes,
that
I'm trying to do that again.
So I hope you can replicate that and bring it back.
I will say too that it's funny with the lunch and learns that we have for all these students. We have great partners, to come help host that. But we also, in those partnerships, like one of our lunch and learns will be volunteering. Because a lot of these people the kids have either been given stuff through a nonprofit, and worked with a nonprofit, or have never heard anything about doing any volunteering.
Yeah.
And so I think that for me is a valuable addition to let them see what's out there in our community.
I do too. I think it's unbelievable.
I think it should be a high school requirement.
It should be.
Absolutely.
It really
Absolutely.
should be.
And Jaime talked about, placing these kids in different businesses. We're looking to place kids in nonprofit organizations, because there are some students out there
I've had so many
that want to get involved. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And Debbie, you asked, what do we need?
Yeah.
I would say
Business.
the main thing is businesses to come on board and to call 704-251-8013 if you're interested in hosting an intern this summer. And we would love to have you on board.
And the intern, like when a business comes on to host the intern, it's a tax write-off.
Right.
So everything is through Make an Impact Foundation, workers' comp, payroll, insurance, taxes, plus the lunch and learns, plus the uniforms and reimbursement if you need it for transportation. And so there's so much value to this program. And the lunch and learns are super valuable because it is your soft skill training, and it is your team building and your leadership and public speaking. Wow. So it's all these things that you need to be successful if you choose to use them, right? I mean, we can't force it, but, we do valuable stuff. And I will say one of our lunch and learns, is with Jasmine Monet, who's with Lake Norman HR, but she's also with Southwire Workforce Development. And she comes in and does the whole AI and your resume and how to do it correctly. Because we know you're all doing it. So even though, but nobody raised my hand, right? No, but if we know you're doing it, so why not do it correctly? Right. Because if you're not doing it, you're way behind. Right. And because everybody else is. Right. So you need to learn how to make it yours. And she does this. And then the next session, team building in the very beginning. And I had 2 applications for trades. And so they had the 2 groups filled out the applications. And then they came back and gave it to the 2 girls that were vetting resumes at Forbo. And they had to picked who to hire. And the first one they looked at, she's like, "Are you kidding me?" Balled it up and threw it away. And the second one, she's like, "Great keywords, this looks really good. I'd switch this around." But they were really vetting them, and then they ended up hiring 2 for each job description. Oh. But it was like really using what you learn to make it work and remember, because I'm like that. Oh, I need to do it to remember.
That's right.
Yeah. No.
Lunch and learn. I need more than lunch to learn these days, for sure. Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm just like, I want to applaud what you're doing, and you too, Clarissa, on the impact that you are making the community. It's such a great word, because you really are making change happen. And I think back to, like, if I had this opportunity, would I be doing what I'm doing today all these years later?
Yeah. Well, we actually have, there's a couple parents that advocate very much for this program because it's changed their kids' lives.
It does. It's life-changing.
And one of the examples is my neighbor. He was running, and our girls play softball together, and I was like, "Oh, how are the girls?" And he was like, "Oh, great." But Peter, that was the summer right before his senior year. He wants to be a waiter. We're trying to get these applications done for college, and he's laying in his bed watching video games or YouTube or whatever. Yeah. I said, he needs this program. Right. And that was the day we got the program. And I'm like, that's Target, right? Even though that they're a pretty well-off family, that kind of thing, he's not. Yeah. And he's not there. And so what's his pathway? And he applied. He came into the office for the interview, and he's sitting like this. And I couldn't be in the interview because I knew him. And both my team were like, "I don't know," and I said, I don't know him well, but I think he needs this, and I advocated for them to bring him on. He was at Champion Tire and Wheel. He was placed in their diesel mechanic shop because he loved working on cars. The guy in the shop did not want an intern. He's like grumpy old man, does his own thing. And Peter came in, and when Peter came in, he was not only hired part-time as a rising senior in high school. I think he was making $17 an hour. But then he was at the end of high school, when he graduated, he was going to come on full-time and then do his diesel mechanic certifications and all that. When I went and visited them in, I guess it was March, he was already a full-time employee. He had already finished the diesel certification and was on to 2 more. And he's still there. And he loves it. Loves it. Yeah. And he's trained from the ground up. They've invested in a workforce for them to be able to go up. And now their team, we do an event at Ninja Nation. So they're big boys that can have all the muscles changing the tires and stuff, come up and compete with our kids at Ninja Nation doing stuff. But it's all about community.
That's right.
Communication and building the relationships to make everybody connected, and this have an influence not just on the kids, but the businesses, their parents, their schoolwork.
That's right.
It drives them because now they have something that's attainable.
Life-changing.
Right. And it's attainable. Right. It's not, and doesn't mean, even like, sorry, the other day, real quick, I was at the softball field, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, oh, these little peewee football players, they think they're going to the NFL, whatever. But most of them don't have that chance. Mm-hmm. Right. There might be 2% there, right? And so their next thing, what if they are aiming for that scholarship, right? Get that scholarship, but then they don't. Mm-hmm. And they don't have money to go to college. Yeah. And then what's next? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's almost like that's why this needs to be part of the school system program as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
I agree.
I love it.
My email is jlane@makeanimpact.org. jlane@makeanimpact.org. And we also have a website, www.makeanimpactnow.org.
Yeah, definitely.
We've been great guests,
Oh, I have
ladies. Thank you
just
so much with
loved
what we're
hearing about
doing.
this.
I'm really honored to know that you're a part of our community.
And
Thank
we're
you.
really fun to work with.
Yeah, we are.
We like to have fun.
We felt no energy in this room.
Yeah, we like to
none
be.
at all.
Well, you know, when you have kids this age, it's easier to work with this kids this age. You know, and you I don't know. These
You're a great
kids still
advocate
call.
for
Yeah.
them. That's cool.
Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
You're welcome.
today.
With competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.